Welcome to Glintree. Have you ever walked into your living room and suddenly felt tired, even though you just woke up? Nothing seems wrong, but something in the room feels heavy. Most people assume it's aging or poor sleep, but in many homes, the real reason is something much simpler. 3 very common objects in your living room may be quietly draining your energy every single day. And once you see them, you may never look at your living room the same way again. As we get older, our brains become more sensitive to visual noise. Scientists call this visual overload, when the brain has to process too many objects and details at once. I once spoke with a friend in Ohio who said something interesting. She told me, "I love my home, but sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in my own stuff." Many of us spent decades collecting things, gifts, decorations, memories, hobbies. But later in life, those same items can quietly become energy drains. Today, I want to show you 3 things you should remove from your living room right now if you want your home to feel calmer, lighter, and more peaceful. And the third one might surprise you because it's something many people keep for years without realizing how stressful it actually is. Let's start with the first one. Look at your coffee table for a moment, or your side tables, or the mantle above the fireplace. These flat surfaces are what I call clutter magnets. Mail piles up, bills and paperwork gather. Books, remotes, and even coffee cups slowly take over the table. Little by little, the surface disappears. I once visited a friend who had a beautiful dining table made of dark mahogany, but the entire surface was covered in mail, old newspapers, and jars of loose coins. She told me, "I stopped eating here. Looking at it just makes me tired." And there's a reason for that. Our brains naturally scan flat surfaces first when we enter a room. It's part of how humans check their environment. But when those surfaces are cluttered, the brain keeps scanning again and again. It's like running 50 browser tabs in your mind all day long. The fix? The one-item anchor. Try this small experiment tonight. Clear everything off your coffee table. Everything. Then place just one object back. A candle, a small plant, a vase with flowers. This becomes what I call an anchor, a single visual resting point for your eyes. Many people notice something interesting right away. When they walk into the room, their shoulders relax, and the space suddenly feels calmer, not because the house changed dramatically, but because the brain finally has room to breathe. The second category is more emotional. These are what I call yesterday's joy. Many living rooms contain decorative objects that once felt meaningful. Porcelain figurines, old display pieces, stacks of photo albums, crystal glasses that haven't been used in years. There's nothing wrong with these items, but over time, they can quietly become visual noise. When our brains see too many decorative objects, it takes more energy to process the room. This is why a space that felt cozy in your 30s can start to feel overwhelming decades later. Here's a simple test. Pick up one decorative item. Hold it for a moment. If you don't feel a genuine connection within about 3 seconds, the object may no longer be serving you. It may simply be taking up space. Try placing those items into a box for 1 week. Most people are surprised by what happens next. They forget about them completely. And suddenly, the room feels lighter. Remember this simple idea. Empty space is not wasted space. Empty space is peaceful space. The third item is the one that drains the most energy. I call these objects silent critics. These are things that quietly remind you of something you didn't finish. For example, a treadmill that turned into a clothing rack, a half-finished craft project, exercise equipment you meant to use, or even a gift you never liked, but feel guilty removing. Every time you see these objects, your brain sends a tiny signal. I should finish that. Or, why didn't I keep doing that? Psychologists call these moments microstress. They are small, but they happen again and again. Imagine your energy like a phone battery. If even 20% of your energy is constantly drained by guilt or unfinished projects, you have much less energy for the things that actually matter: your health, your family, your peace of mind. The fix? The clean slate rule. If you haven't used something in 6 months, it may no longer be a hobby. It may simply be a burden. When people donate unused equipment or give away unfinished craft supplies, they often feel something unexpected: relief, less cleaning, less organizing, and no more quiet reminders of things they should be doing. Your living room should feel like a place of comfort, not a place where unfinished projects judge you. Your home is more powerful than most people realize. It quietly shapes how you think, how you relax, and how much energy you have each day. When a room becomes too full, the mind also begins to feel crowded. But when you remove just a few of the right things, something changes. The space feels lighter, your mind feels clearer, and daily life begins to feel easier again. So here's a small challenge for today. Choose one table in your living room and apply the one-item anchor rule. Clear the surface, leave just one meaningful object. Then tell me in the comments what you removed and how it made you feel. I read every comment because this community is about helping each other create calmer, safer, and more peaceful homes. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to Glintree, where we share gentle, practical tips for seniors. Remember, your home doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be safer, calmer, and more enjoyable, one small step at a time. Start tomorrow morning and see how much difference it makes.